Namaste. Today I'm going to read Volume 2, Book 2, Rudra Samhita, Part 4, Chapter 7, Commencement of the War, in the Shiva Puran. Om Vakratuna Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Niraveganam Kudame Deva Sarvakaya Sushadva Om Ekadantai Vidmyo Vakratuntai Timinodanti Prachodayat Om Gam Ganapatiram Om Gam Ganapatiram Gam Ganapatiram Om Ya Devi Sarvabhutishu Vidyarupinna Sanshana Namaste 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 Namo Om Ham Samse Vedamehi Paramam Sadimehi Tano Ham Saprashodayat. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Hari Om Tat Sat. Brahma said, on seeing that miraculous feat of Kumara, Vishnu and other gods became delighted. They were convinced of his prowess, keeping Kumara at the head, shouting and roaring, purified by Shiva's splendor, they started to attack Taraka. When he heard about the preparation of the gods, the powerful Taraka rushed to fight back the gods with a great army. On seeing the great army of Taraka approaching, the gods were surprised, but roared like lions. Then a celestial voice, prompted by Shiva, addressed Vishnu and all other gods. The celestial voice said, O gods, keeping Kumara at the head, you have entered the list. Defeating the Asuras in the battle, you will be victorious. Brahma said, on hearing the celestial voice, the gods became enthusiastic. Fearlessly, they roared like heroes. With their fear subsided and keeping Kumara ahead, the gods went to the confluence of the river Mahi and the ocean, desirous of fighting. Immediately, Taraka, along with a great army, came to the place where the gods stood and was surrounded by them in a body. Battle drums were sounded as loud as the rumbling sound of the clouds at the dissolution of the world. The harsh musical instruments were also played when he came. The Asuras, in the company of Taraka, roared and shook the ground with their thudding footsteps, leapings, and bouncings. Undaunted by the terrible noise, the gods simultaneously rose up to fight Taraka. Accompanied by the great army of the gods and the guardians of the quarters, Lord Indra seated Kumara on an elephant and rushed forward. Great war drums, dundubis, bhiris, and turiyas, lutes, flutes, and mridangas were sounded, and the Gandharvas sang war songs. Leaving the elephant to Lord Indra, Kumara got in an aerial chariot of wonderful build and studded with different sets of gems. Seated in the aerial chariot, the son of Shiva, endowed with good qualities and of great renown, shone with great splendor. He was being fanned with lustrous charities. The lustrous umbrella presented by Varuna, shining with various gems, was held aloft over his head. Beams of light, as though of infinite moons, shed great lustre round. Indra and other gods of great strength, desirous of fighting, joined him with their own divisions of the army. The gods and the demons stood in their arrays on the ground, with a vast army ready to start the battle. With the bards singing their songs of praise, the armies of the gods and the Asuras shone in their eagerness to pounce on and crush each other. The two armies, as vast as a wild jungle, roared. They were terrific to the coward and pleasing to the brave. In the meantime, the rank and file of the Asuras and the gods, haughty of their strength and blazing with fury, came together in a mutual clash. A terrific, tumultuous fight between the gods and the Asuras ensued. Within a moment, the place was littered with severed heads and headless trunks. Wounded and killed by great weapons, hundreds and thousands of heroic soldiers fell on the ground. The arms of some were cut off by terrible blows from swords. Others lost their thighs in the battle of those honorable, heroic people. The entire body of some was smashed by the maces. The chest and hearts of some were pounded by iron clubs. Some were felled to the ground by spears and dragged with nooses. The backs of some were torn with javelins and goads. Several heads, chopped off by double-edged swords, fell on the ground. Hundreds of headless, limbless trunks were seen dancing and bouncing with arrows sticking to their hands. Blood flowed like streams in hundreds of places. Hundreds of ghosts and goblins flocked there. Jackals and vixens began eating the flesh. Numbers of vultures, kites, crows, and carnivorous birds devoured the flesh of those falling down. In the meantime, Taraka, the demon of great strength, came there with a huge army to fight with the gods. On seeing the haughty warrior rushing on them, Indra and others turned against him. Then a tumultuous sound arose from both the armies. Duels were fought by the gods and the Asuras, crushing each other. On seeing which, heroes were delighted and cowards were terrified. The Asura, Taraka of great strength, fought with Indra, Samharada with Agni, and Yama with Jamba. Lord Varuna fought with Nirta and Bala Suvira, the king of Guyas, fought with Vayu. Sambhu fought with Isana. Sumba, an expert in battle, fought with Sheshya. Kumbha, the Asura, fought with the moon. Kunjara, of great strength and exploit, an expert in different kinds of battles, fought with Mihira, using great weapons. Thus the gods and the Asuras fought duels using their full strength with resolution. O sage, desiring to gain the upper hand and vying with each other, the powerful gods and the Asuras were equally invincible in the battle. The fight between the gods and the Asuras, desirous of victory over each other, was very tumultuous. It was pleasing to the brave and terrible to the others. The battleground became impassable and awful with the corpses of the gods and Asuras lying there in thousands, but it was very pleasing to be brave. Footnotes 144. The scene of the battle between the gods and the Asuras is placed in the western India on the coast of the Arabian Sea, where the sacred river Mahi that issues from Sayapada hill falls into it. For details, see Dr. Avasti studies in Skanda Purana. And here ends today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Om Prabhu Prananatam Vivumeshwanatam Jagannatanatam Saranantabajan Bhutipadam Bhueshwaram Bhutanatam Shivam Shankaram Shamameshanamide Om Kapuragaram Karanavataram Sansarasaram Bhujagendrahadam Sadavasantam Hridarvinde Bhavam Bhavami Saitam Namami Om Nama Parvati Pate Hara 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 Mahadev Om Hum Jum Samboro Samtarambakam Jame Skandam Pashtivaranam Urvarakam Bandana Minichokshimam Tatum Swaha Bhuvum Sajum Hom Om Om Jenti Mangalakali Badrakali Kapani Durga Kashmachi Padatri Swaha Swadha Namaste Om Hari Om Tatsat Om Tume Mata Chapita Tume Tume Mandusha Chasaka Tume Tume Vidyadrebinam Tume Tume Sarvamam Vadivade Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat